So, news has just got in this morning that the Eagles traded Dennis Kelly to Tennessee for Tennessee's wide receiver Dorial Beckham. Now, honestly, the trade was a bit of a shock to me because it was kind of sudden, but at the same time, it doesn't shock me at all. Um, I saw the interviews of I saw Harry Roseman's interview, and he was saying, it just needs to um, uplift the talent level on the team. And I see why he would do that. That first week of the preseason on last Thursday was just atrocious. The wide receivers just could not get separation. They could not, catch the ball. You know what I mean? Just horrible inconsistency, and there's a huge lack of production. This is really what you would call a low risk, high reward um, move. Because honestly, if you even if Dorial Green Beckham, let's call him DGB. If DGB, you know, is unproductive like the rest of the receiving core, what do you have to lose really? You didn't give away too much anyways. You give away Dennis Kelly. Now, granted, he was supposed to be our backup. He was our backup tackle. You know what I mean? And we already know what Lane Johnson situation with the 10-game suspension, which by the way, stupid, just an idiot move by the way. Um, and who's going to be behind Lane Johnson would probably end up being oh my goodness, what's his name? Alan Barber, and be Jason Peters. And Jason Peters with his injuries and stuff last season. What's gonna end up happening there? We don't know. Because if he gets injured, then who's gonna come in at the left tackle? And if Alan Barber, if he doesn't play well, or he gets injured, what's gonna happen? So that is kind of interesting. But then again, Dennis Kelly, you know, he was a backup for a reason. Like he wasn't anything special. So I mean, the trade is interesting. They need some kind of talent, and the guy has raw talent. You know what I mean? He's 23 years old. He's still fairly young in the NFL, coming off a rookie year. But it does concern me that the Titans would let go of a 23-year-old, 6'5", 230-pound wide receiver who can run like lightning. I don't understand that, right? So it really does say a lot about the character, maybe of DGB. It may say a lot about what what is it? It might say a lot about what the Eagles value, and it seems like they might value talent and wanting to win now, and are seeing upside over actual potential to actually have it, potential to be productive and potential to actually not just potential but a strong sense that someone can reach their potential. I don't know. I honestly don't know what this guy. When I first saw it, I was obviously like really intrigued. Everything like that to move, and they need a receiver because everyone on the receiving core besides Jordan Matthews is just terrible. But at the same time, it's like you're basically getting another Ruben Randall. That's like my biggest fear is that like the Ruben Randall, like we signed him this offseason, and it was like the same thing that we saw with him, where it's like you're not sure if this was really a high reward type deal because he had the same issues too, like off the field, like not really off the field too much, but just more a sense of like on the field he can't run good routes. um doesn't seem like a player that picks up things, who is intelligible, to want to pick up all the little nuances, and yeah, and also just the fact that like he just doesn't care. He does not. give a crap. And it's like that's not good. And honestly, the biggest issue with DGB is that there's a fear that he might be the same way, and you bring in someone who might be physically gifted but doesn't have the heart or the integrity to actually want to step in, work hard, and make your team better. So obviously, right now, I mean, I don't know what to think of the move, but at the same time, I know how this team works. If you really think about it, this team, outside of Jordan Matthews and outside of getting Jeremy Macklin in '09, for the past like 7, 8 years, they've never really done a good job with wide receivers. They've never done a good job with wide receivers, like not even once. Like they've done a good job with getting Zach Ertz, but he's a tight end. When it comes to actual wideouts, they've never really been good. They've never really been good at actually. Now that you think about it, if you really think about this, when's the last time that the Eagles have had a consistent year after year number one receiver who was up to the challenge to help, win games for the team and put points on the board for the offense. Don't say Deshaun Jackson. Don't say his name. Okay? Yeah, the guy could, he could take the top of a defense, but you get your hands on him and press. He's basically useless, right? Jeremy Macklin, I think in 2014 he kind of proved that he has the ability to be a number one type, but he's not really gonna, take over a game anytime soon. Terrell Owens, that's like the biggest ones you could think of. But if you really think about it, he only lasted 2 seasons for the Eagles because he had, character issues. Surprise. And it's like Jordan Matthews, like I said, he's talented, like, with Jackson and Macklin, but they're not number one um, threats. They're not, you know what I mean? They're not guys that are going to take over a game for you and actually help you win games in the clutch and win games, and be able to put, touchdowns on the board. So it's like this is nothing new. As an Eagles fan, we know how this goes. They've never really been good at, bringing wide receivers onto a roster. And who knows when they're going to figure that out. But that's just my thoughts. It's an okay trade, I guess. We'll see what happens.